Get down to business, shall we? Braca, folks. YouTube, y'all remember that white dude in the truck? I forgot his name. Also Facebook, when I played him and he was like, with the country accent, Target ought to be ashamed of themselves. What they doing in there with the kids. Remember that video? When he said, all the black baby mamas is gonna whoop Target's ass. Remember when he said that? Because they done snatched that video off of every social media platform. I was like, wow, I can't find my guy. He said all the mothers worse than Ben Laden. Y'all remember that dude, man? I was like, what? It was like 2-3 years ago. Man, I can't find that video. YouTube, TikTok, nowhere, bruh. I'm like, yo. Guess I ain't the only one they erasing great videos to. Shalom, Baraka, Eldridge, Janice Clark, Grand Solar Rising. Well, my point is, y'all, it says, touch not the least of my children. Target is not the problem. It's the owners that's the problem. Going around Pedo, going around touching little children and ain't trying to hide it, boy. We sure living in the last days for sure, boy. These niggas ain't trying to hide this stuff, boy. It's in our face, righteous people. We too busy pointing fingers at each other and talking about you ain't holy enough. And children out here suffering, son. Right now as I speak, someone is looking for salvation and a hero from being snatched and brought across seas. Yeah. People supposed to trust, like the church, the police. I mean, ICE, all these cats, man. Some of these cats you think went back to their country, son. Nah, it became a ritual fest. You know what I mean? Serious. Things we don't think about. And arguing over stuff that we think is important ain't got a clue how we can really deliver souls by the speech of the mouth, the influence of the mind, directed by the breath of God. Take my word for it.
We just talked about Target and some of the scandal around those swimsuits, but that store also letting people return damaged kids' clothes or kids' clothes that are just too small. And this is apparently becoming viral on social media.
That's exactly right. Yeah, I guess they have a few people boycotting them, but now they have a lot of people who really love them because of this lax policy for this children's brand that Target carries, Cat and Jack. If it's been within 1 year, you are able to return those children's clothes, even if they are damaged or dirty. And I think for most kids, anytime they've worn something for about a year, it's going to be damaged or dirty. So we have parents that we're seeing posting these viral TikToks saying they've returned $300, $400, $500 worth of these goods to Target, getting money back, getting the opportunity to buy more merchandise there. You hear from people who are working at these stores that it'll take 20 minutes to process this return, and they're just throwing these often dirty, damaged goods right into the garbage can. It's an interesting question why Target is allowing this. They supposedly make about $3 billion in revenue from this Cat and Jack line alone. Seems like they're probably hoping people are going to become very loyal. And I'm sure they're hoping that most people aren't going to go to the hassle to try and get these returns done and get their money back. You do have to have either a receipt or it has to be on your account somewhere that you purchase these goods at Target. Otherwise, you can only get a max of $100 back, which is still pretty generous. I mean, so, most of the stores I shop at, it's like...
Pretty generous, okay. Well, let's show you some of the crap we talking about. You got the devil inside you, devil inside you, can't say no. You got the devil inside you. Wow.
Hold up, Target. We got to do some talking. For reference, everybody, we're in the kids sections of things.
Moana is right here.
Yeah, so here's Moana. You want to come to the aisle next to it.
Timeless toys. Ouija board.
Ouija board. What's up with this white people shit? Not only that, it's on sale too. This is that white people shit I be talking. Y'all wonder why people don't like it. Like, what are y'all smoking?
To quote, I am not the standard issue cracker.
At all. Hold up, Target. We gotta do some talking.
When it's them, just like when niggas say nigga. Wait, when it's them, they can do that.
Okay, here I am in the little girls swimsuit department, and I'm just like floored.
What the hell?
My little girl is
For babies and little girls?
not even 4.
Nah, bro.
And needs an
Fuck out
extra
right
small in kids because she's so tall. And these are the type of
That was like that little black girl. You know, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. Why y'all sending likes and hearts for a little girl dancing in the gorilla booty thug songs? The cute little girl, like she raised proper. But I ain't about to support that shit. Y'all was liking and sharing. She don't look like she's 5. Like she like viral on TikTok. You know what I mean? For the wrong shit. It's gonna get you caught up.
suits that I'm finding. So this is a small. So, you know, like a 5-year-old. What 5-year-old needs that? Or that back?
Yeah, what is going on here, man?
This. Again, little kids, little girls are supposed to be wearing these. Little girls.
I told y'all that when they were doing the little modeling. Like, yo, y'all put pressure on 4 and 5 years old, and you got a nerve to smack your lip because you got to say it twice. Nigga, this is a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even lose your patience like that with adults who be getting high on drugs, doing the same thing, not comprehending. You wouldn't get mad at a little innocent kid as a kid. You know what I'm saying? I be seeing some stuff. I be like, yo, if I was the parent, I'd have smacked the fire out that manager. You know what I'm saying? Talk to my kid like that one more time. Me and you, man. Me and you. Me and you. They're a kid. So, like, why y'all doing and stuff like that in the store now? Like, this shit getting bold, y'all. Y'all not understanding where I'm coming from. I can't be nice about this, you know, because, like I said before, there's a lot of new stuff I ain't with. I'm trying to keep a good tongue, y'all, but it's hard when you bothered by something. You want me to get up here and talk proper, and you know it's totally wrong. Man, that shit don't match. I'm saying, like, somebody gotta make some sense of this.
See how tiny it is? Okay. Oh, and it gets better. It gets better. So let's go right on over here. And there are no shorts anywhere. No shorts anywhere.
No shorts. Why?
For little girls. Oh, here's another one. This is another good one. What little girl needs that opening right there? Please someone tell me. Why is this okay? Ooh, here's another good one.
Oh my
Again,
God.
little girls.
All right.
We're gonna go to the kids section and we're actually going to see if they're putting weird, creepy, uncomfy stuff on children's clothing. This is the child section. This is literally the kids section. I'm next to a literal onesie that says whatever the hell that means. We have glad you came out and I'm so happy that you're queer in the kids section. Are you kidding me? I'm sorry, but pride and toddler don't belong in the same sentence. So I got an extra small swimsuit in the child section. It says light binding effect on it. And then the bottoms in the kids section, keep in mind, say tuck friendly construction. They're giving it to your kids. If that doesn't give you a reason to boycott Target, I don't know what does. But this shit's getting out of hand. They're targeting children, whether you like it or not. And it's time that people actually do something about it. Because if they don't, then guess what? That shit won't just be in Target, it'll be in every store, ever.
I've been telling y'all, man. I know I don't like the pedo breath classes, but the Holy Spirit say, speak it. There's a lot of children looking for some saviors. You know what I'm saying? Mad at God because you ain't doing your job. All he doing is telling you to run your mouth. He ain't asking you to be Clark Superman. Speak about shit that niggas ain't talking. That's very easy. Oh, you get scared because they threaten your life. Well, shouldn't have been a Christ child. All right, that comes with the doggone territory. Cry baby. All right, don't be like the old Israelite ancestors whining and shit. You ain't gonna make it.
Most of the stores I shop at, it's like, you know, if you've accidentally worn the shoes around your apartment too much, they'll see the damage on the sole and they won't take it back.
I don't know. If you're of a certain age, you remember a day when Nordstrom department stores accepted a tire, and they don't sell tires because they have such a wide-ranging, broad return policy. So I don't know that Target wanted to necessarily go viral for this return policy, but you're welcome, Tarjay. You're welcome.
You're right.
Yeah, I don't think nobody want to go viral when they know they totally wrong. I mean, that's common sense there, you know? I'm just saying. Well, Trump seems to think...
Target is taking a financial hit after dropping its diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. The retail giant has reportedly lost more than $12.4 billion in revenue. This comes as calls for...
So, Target, they may have found themselves in a no-win situation trying to survive in President Trump's America. And not only has the brand inflicted itself with a controversial reputation based on some of what it promotes, tariffs and other Trump-era programs that protect American workers may be the final nail in the coffin of a company that just can't seem to stop offending its own customers.
Right.
How many of you all shop at Target during the season of Lent? Don't go to Target for nothing.
Scott is bothered Target did away with its DEI initiatives and promises it made.
It doesn't take a PR expert to know that if you hire a Satanist to design a children's clothing line, people will get upset. That's exactly what Target did, and somehow they were surprised at the backlash.
Does this type of public scrutiny pressure Target and other companies like it to make change?
I think it does.
See the people? That's how you muster. Not that bull crap we're doing, because you're bringing change. That stuff you do at the White House and all that stuff, I ain't bringing no change, man. But what you did here, oh, we proud of you. Boycott them. See? What I tell you? The Holy Spirit tell us. The best way to get back at your enemy is his pockets. They're not going to listen to you yapping your mouth. But when the next criteria of the digits don't apply to what they had the last month or last week, buddy, they're going to listen to you. Trust me. Because where there's no money, there will be no corporation.
So, you know, we've actually seen where Target has backed off in response to people's reaction to certain of their activities.
Customers really don't like that confusion.
Now, just with that store, we the people can see the power we can bring. All right? They work for us. Don't you forget that. That's why it's called tax.
Used positioning, and it's kind of trying to take a middle of the road position. The problem with being in the middle of the road is you end up getting knocked down from both sides.
But the biggest problem that Target has right now is that they've built up this image for themselves as being very socially responsible and being responsive to DEI concerns. And for them to kind of turn their back on it, what it's done is alienate a big part of the group of people who typically would be shopping there.
So the CEO of Target has admitted that they've made some major mistakes. But what nobody talking about this latest boycott will admit is that the issues plaguing Target today, they actually started a couple of years ago when the brand decided to promote a progressive agenda inside its stores. This alone led to the movements we see today boycotting the company, who managed to alienate their customers in a way that may be permanent. But what's fascinating is the latest backlash at Target has to do with what activists are calling a right-wing pivot and possible betrayal. And due to President Trump's overwhelming popularity and war against DEI initiatives, Target sees this as an opportunity to pivot back, which wasn't the change a lot of its customers were expecting. And the problem for Target is as they roll back some of their progressive initiatives and remove merchandise from their stores, the diversity policies that they previously claimed to support seem to be getting thrown to the wayside, all in the name of making money. Which brings us to the real reason Target's in such a tough position. A few years ago, they Bud Lighted their entire brand And now it looks like they're doing it again, making everybody who could go into one of these stores a little bit upset with them. And alienating customers is a pretty stupid thing to do when it's your job to sell toothpaste and t-shirts. Plus, when you add to all this President Trump's tariffs on goods from communist countries like China, that puts companies like this up a creek without a paddle. So here we are inside a Target, and if you run this place, it's your job to stay quiet and sell as many peanut butter M&M minis as you possibly can. But Target hasn't been able to do that, and by trying to recover from what many say are a series of Bud Light moments, some say the company is just making things worse.
The protest comes after the retail giant announced last week it would join Walmart and a number of other stores in scaling back DEI initiatives, feeling the pressure from conservative groups and President Trump's recent signing of executive orders to end DEI programs in the federal government.
We thought that they would hold the line. We thought that they would continue to stand.
So there is a lot to unpack here, and none of it is good for Target. In fact, it all goes back to 2020 when Target decided to put itself in the driver's seat of the progressive movement in America. And according to this article, Target back in 2020 committed to progressive policies, which they thought were going to be great for business and give them a sense of value and community.
Target symbol is the sign of Zeus, aka Jupiter.
But just days after President Trump assumed the Oval Office and signed off on a flurry of anti-DEI executive orders, Target announced they were concluding their 3-year diversity, equity, and inclusion goals, making it look like Target was treating the movement it had just embraced as some sort of crutch to make money. But here's the thing, Target's already got a problem with traditional consumers who felt alienated by moves the company made just a few years ago, and now it looks like they're flip-flopping, and that flip-flopping is now offensive to the current base of Target customer.
And they made the decision to bow down to the Trump administration. But we are here today saying we will not bow down.
In a memo to employees last week, Target's chief community impact and equity officer described the DEI decisions as a next chapter in the company's strategy.
Strategy, that's the key word here. And it's important to understand that this mega corporation, they don't care one bit about left or right beliefs. All they care about is making money. And now with Target rolling back some of their DEI initiatives, just as President Trump has rolled them back at a federal level, to many progressives, it looks like Target is just going where the wind goes and abandoning them. And it looks like their value system changes depending on what makes money and what doesn't. Does that mean the company plans to start selling Donald Trump's Make America Great Again hats? Probably not. But as the political pendulum swings right, it looks like Target's doing the same.
Will this type of financial loss impact Target's decisions moving forward, do you think, on this policy?
I think it will. You know, you have to remember that a lot of these companies operate on very thin financial margins. So the fact that they're seeing this decline could...
So, let me real quickly here pull up my gallery just to back myself up, you know. I showed you many symbols of Jupiter, the little cross with the Z on top, look like a shepherd's staff. But there's also that little sun symbol. Y'all call it a sun symbol. It's not the sun symbol. No dot and a circle in the middle. But that is all your hieroglyphs. See? There it is. That is your hieroglyphs. It means something, and he is the king of supposedly the fallen. But y'all say gods. You know what I'm saying? See, there go that symbol. Jupiter symbol, that's one right there. Look like a 4, a little Z and a staff. And there it is, right there. Boop. The eye is the king is always watching you, know what I mean? Just wanted to make sure I showed you
they're
that.
seeing this decline could actually impact their profits and ultimately impact them on...
You know, when you look at the big picture, Target's strategy of having a business system that masquerades as a value system turned out to be a pretty bad idea. idea. And any brand that alienates traditional customers is going to pay a price for that. Just ask this company here. And the reason for that is traditional customers don't care about your company's values one bit. And as long as you stick to your core values and offer competitive products, people are going to buy from you. But if you go on some crusade to offend your core base, don't be surprised when they vanish and stop showing up in movie theaters. And here's the thing, Costco, Amazon, they've got DEI-related initiatives as well. But in many people's minds, they haven't been preached at when they've gone online to buy something or gone into a Costco. And since many of these companies didn't come out swinging for left field like Target did, now when Target rolls these things back and these other companies don't, there's a reason to be upset at Target when there isn't for any of these other places. And now the company finds itself in a no-win situation.
But the biggest problem that Target has right now is that they've built up this image for themselves as being very socially responsible and being responsive to DEI concerns. And for them to kind of turn their back on it, what it's done is alienate a big part of the group of people.
So what we're
walking away from morality, y'all, basically. Thanks for coming out to HSE-TV Entertainment, Holy Spirit Enlightenment Television. Well, at least we're going to talk about it to try to bring forth change. But we cannot change what was already told to the universe about the Great Tribulation. It will be wax worse. There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can change. There's nothing you can even pray to God about. Because his word cannot be taken back, which you all know that. So instead of trying to change what he has already put out there as a predestination, simple, just go along with it. Make sure your soul is right. Do what you're supposed to do. And everything will be okay. Yes, you're going to have to leave this body, like everybody else, and go through the stupid emotions. But you, my friends, shall not feel anything if you have not in any immoralness in your bone. You're not going to be perfect. You're not going to be holy. But you can at least have moral standards. That's up for you and your soul and what you do in your life. Not for me to judge. Braka! Until next time.